Hey everyone, welcome back to TOPHER Drives, where today you join me in Greenville, South Carolina for some exclusive first impressions on this individual Riviera Blue 2025 BMW M4 CS, BMW's newest lightweight rendition of the M4. Now, earlier this year and last year on the channel, we drove the M3 CS, that was a signal green car, the kind of the four-door version of this, and the M4 CSL, the competition sport lightweight. So you can kind of think of this car as a combination of them both. New for 2025, of course, the M4 got a facelift as well, but this is the hottest version. Starts at $123,000. This one as spec today, $137 grand. We're gonna take this for a drive today. I'm gonna give you guys some of my raw first impressions. I've only driven this about 5 miles to our remote destination with woods and some dumpsters and the TOPHER over there in the new BMW X3. And well, we'll see what this thing is like. I have a pretty good idea of what it's going to drive like, but we'll be able to experience that together on this wonderful little twisty road out here in Greenville. So let's talk you through some basics here on the M4 CS. Well, what does it mean? The M4 as a whole got a bit of a facelift for 2025. We have these different headlights. They all have the laser taillights now, but the CS is 77 pounds lighter than the standard M4 competition xDrive. This still has the S58 twin power turbo inline 6, but this makes 20 more horsepower than the standard competition car, 543 horsepower, 479 pound-feet of torque. We still have that 8-speed automatic, and this is xDrive all-wheel drive, which is what I love so much about these cars, is it makes them a little bit more livable. We saw this with the M3 CS. We did our, I think it was called like commuting in carbon buckets or something like that. But we found that that car was actually quite livable. So I'm excited now that there is a 2-door version. This one finished in Riviera Blue, one of the 2 individual colors that BMW will sell you right off the bat. This and a frozen Isle of Man green, but if you don't like colors, you are able to have Brooklyn gray, or there's a black color as well that you can go for. I think this looks absolutely fantastic in this Riviera Blue. Let's pop the hood and take a look at this S58. We'll poke around this car really quick, and then we're just gonna get on the road and go for a drive. Time is pretty limited today, and I also have to get into the new M5, which I'm super excited for. You can see we have a carbon fiber reinforced plastic hood. Helps with some of our 77 pounds in savings. And I really wish that BMW still stamped these as individual. You don't get that stamp anywhere now on the cars, I think, because individual has kind of just become a bit mainstream. Everybody gets it now. But we have some chassis bracing here, and you can see this S58 that we know and love. Cool M stamping on the bottom of this carbon fiber reinforced plastic hood. Sweet. And obviously we have some bespoke changes to our bodywork as well. Carbon fiber splitter up front. Our DRLs are yellow, and we have these orange touches on our kidney grills. Of course, M4 CS badging. Inside we have the bucket seats that you can get in any M car at this point. The key is in it. These are unique in the way of the red coloring, as well as the CS badging and the red under the perforation here. Unlike the CSL, the CS actually has a back seat. So instead of just a couple of helmet holders, you can actually take a couple of passengers. You can see these seats are power as well. So if you want ultralight, you can still go for the CSL, though good luck finding them, as they did not make very many. I'll put that number right here. I know it was quite limited, but this car, you may actually have a pretty good chance at actually purchasing. Around back, quad tips, more carbon fiber, and now every M4 gets these laser lights that we first saw on the CSL last year, which is cool for every M4, but it kind of sucks that these are no longer exclusive because, I don't know, kind of just a cool touch to an exclusive car, but I think they look fantastic. In the trunk here, normal M4 stuff. You can see my bag there for scale. This may be the most gorgeous rendition of this new M4. I think I could just walk around this and stare at it all day, but that's not what we're here to do. Let's jump in it. Let's go for a drive and see what this thing is like. For tires today, we are running on a set of Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2s. These are a staggered setup. On the rear, we have a 285/30 R20, and on the front we have a 275/35 R19, so a 19-inch wheel on the front, a 20-inch wheel on the back. We of course have carbon ceramic brakes on this thing, absolutely massive rotors, gold brake calipers to let you know those are carbon ceramic. Oh, man. Carbon fiber roof, all of the stuff, everything you'd expect on a lightweight version of an M car. Stepping inside here, you can see touches from our LCI for 2025, including this flat bottom steering wheel. And of course, our wraparound iDrive 8.5 display. Let's go ahead and start this thing up. And I haven't set up any of my M modes yet or anything, so we will do that together. Inside we have the same center console in carbon fiber that we saw in the M3 CS. Mitigates cup holders. Those are not a thing in this car, so you are forced to use your door panels if you are traveling with a beverage. There is at least a wireless phone charger, and there's a little USB-A slot, which is interesting to see for a 2025 vehicle. We still have our console shifter here, as well as the carbon fiber paddles, but I want to talk about the steering wheel for a second, because I think this may end up being peak M steering wheel. I've seen the wheel on the new M5, and it's not as pretty as this, and I love that we still have kind of the older style steering wheel here, but we finally get a flat bottom. This one is wrapped in Alcantara, of course, with the M stitching. We've got carbon fiber details on here. We have our selectable M modes, and I think that this is just a thing of beauty. Pretty minimalist otherwise, though. Carbon fiber trim on the dashboard. We do still get a volume knob, and with iDrive 8.5, we have very quick access to our climate controls, which I am going to turn or vent it down now so we don't have to hear that during the drive. But we're going to turn this onto low. Sync those up. There we go. Low. Okay. Before we set off, let's just get our M modes set here. Our M1 configuration. We're going to put the engine into Sport Plus. Transmission, we're going to go S3 so we can change our own gears. Chassis, we're going to put that into comfort, steering comfort, yep, brakes. Let's go sport with the brakes. DSC on, and we're going to leave this in four-wheel drive. Of course, with this being a new M xDrive car, you are able to run in four-wheel drive sport, or you can shut off the front wheels altogether and run it in rear-wheel drive. Once we get this thing out in a more controlled environment, maybe back home on a track or something like that, we can try those things out. But today, for our first impressions drive, just going to leave this in its all-wheel drive mode. Leave our M sound on, and we won't even configure M2. We'll just leave our M1 setting alone there. I've got my phone connected to wireless Apple CarPlay. You of course have that option, as well as wireless Android Auto. And this iDrive 8.5 seems to work pretty dang well under first impressions here. So cool. All right, well, I'm gonna get settled in. We're gonna jump out on the road and we'll take this for a drive and see what it's like. I mean, we kind of know what it's gonna be like, but this will just be quite a bit of fun, I think. Into reverse, no 360 camera, but we do have a really nice high quality backup camera here. Parking sensors as well, of course. Give you some Cup 2 ASMR. Okay, we'll do some casual driving at first, and then once we get out onto the proper twisty road, we'll go into our M1 setting. What I love so much about these CS cars is that they are genuinely livable. Of course, I spent some time in that CSL. In fact, I road tripped it out to Gingerman Raceway when we did our track day. That car was pretty rough, but these CSs are nice because they're unique, they're bespoke, and you can still daily drive them with no real problem. Steering, super light when you're in comfort mode. These CS cars, of course, have tweaked suspension components. They have a titanium exhaust, so it's like 8 pounds lighter than the one you get on the regular M4 comp. So lots of little things go into this to excuse the $30,000 or whatever price hike for the CS. Beautifully smooth shifts from our 8-speed automatic transmission. honestly, this S58 does a really good job just existing in the background when you're not pushing it. Beautiful bite from that brake pedal and these carbon ceramics. I'll of course be sure to give these cyclists plenty of room. Okay, let's toggle into our M1 driving mode. That's going to put our 8-speed into manual, and it's going to turn all of our power related things up into Sport Plus. Feel for this before we push it super hard. Also need to keep in mind that this is an area that does have some houses, so we're going to do our best to be respectful here and make sure we're not disturbing any peace. There goes the new M5. Unbelievably quick steering, with this just set into comfort mode. It's very light, of course, still, but remarkably quick. Really good noise from this S58. We've picked up a TheTopher behind us in that X3. He could probably outdrive me in that with me in this on this road. Well, let's actually go back out of M1 since we're just chilling here for a second, and we'll talk about comfort. Now, obviously we talked about this in the M3 CS video, and I encourage you to go watch that if you want to know a bit more what it's like to live with one of these cars. But when you lose the center console here, of course you lose somewhere to put your right arm. They give you a little bit of a pad here, but I think that's more so like a forearm rest for when you're using this shifter to put yourself into gear. Left elbow, however, stays pretty cozy, as this door panel is the same as you get on just a regular M4. Peak torque is made at around 2,700 RPM, so pretty much no matter what gear you're in, you've got plenty of power to execute a pass or something like that. Get a good sense for the chassis of this car, even kind of just keeping it at like 4/10 right now. We've got a lot of cyclists exercising their freedom of the road today as well. Do not want to run over any of the locals, so keeping it tame unless we can see what's going on ahead. This is an M car where I do actually appreciate the urgency of everything. Just the immediate reactions to every input are very satisfying. So fast. BMW always claims like a 3.2 second 0 to 60, and they also claim that it only has 543 horsepower or whatever they claim, but you always get the sense that these cars kind of make that to the wheels, and then you go out and you time your own 0 to 60 and it's like 2.8 seconds or something. I mean, these cars are ridiculously fast. I wouldn't say that this necessarily feels faster in a straight line than just a regular M4 Comp xDrive, because those cars are nauseatingly fast as well, but these suspension tweaks, steering revisions, everything like that, it does make this car feel a lot lighter on its feet. Oh, turkey or something, some kind of bird. Please move. Ooh, okay. there's some urgency from that 8-speed auto. Ride quality here is really quite nice. With the dampers here set to comfort, there are some uneven parts to this road, and it is soaking it up pretty nicely. And contrary to popular belief, honestly, these carbon buckets are quite comfortable. The guys and I, me, Charlie, TheTopher, Tedward, we all went on a big road trip around the entire perimeter of Michigan a couple of years ago, and one of the cars we took was an M4 competition with these seats. So we sat in this car for a very long extended period of time. So they're honestly quite supportive, and they do have a bit more adjustability than you may think. They do have adjustable bolsters, so you can kind of loosen these up a bit. So anyways, I mean, comfort in this car is quite all right. And you know what? I think with this road just being as chaotic as it is today, there's a lot going on, a lot of kind of tree and forest work, lots of people riding bikes and walking and things. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Let's just drop the windows and we'll kind of just drive in a low gear and listen to some sounds of this S58 and kind of just make the most of this road here. So just effortlessly quick. You just breathe upon every input in this car, and it is delivered swiftly by Jeeves. I love these brakes. Seriously fantastic. good too. You know, it isn't like super raspy or snarly. It's kind of a deeper tone and doesn't sound a whole lot different than just a regular M4. Okay, we've got a bit of a straight section here up until the end, so we'll try and get a good sense for some straight line speed here on this M4 CS. Yeah, that is just unbelievable. I mean, seriously wild. I'm gonna see if this will let me do a launch control. Oh my goodness, what a machine this is. And of course the lawn is being cut here at our ending location. I swear I attract lawnmowers when I film videos. It's one of my specialties. All right, guys, well, that's gonna wrap it up here for our super brief and quick first impressions on this 2025 BMW M4 CS, the new lightweight M4. A nice package, as we all knew it would be. And I gotta say, I'm a big fan of the facelift on this car. I think the new headlights and taillights look excellent. I love the new steering wheel. Say what you want about the iDrive 8.5, but for me today, it has been working fine. Of course, you can opt for an older car that still has iDrive 7, and you know, it drives pretty much the same. So let's shut this off. I like the checkered flag there, that's cool. We'll give you one last look at this individual Riviera Blue M4 CS. And that'll wrap it up for us today. Again, forgive me for just a short drive, but that's kind of all the time we have today and our only opportunity out here in Greenville. But don't worry, we'll do our best to get one of these back at home, and we'll show you what it's like to live with this new M4 CS. But let me know in the comments, what do you think of this new special edition? Obviously, competition sport M cars are nothing new, but with this one being the newest one, I think it's excellent. I don't really have anything bad to say. So, under first impressions, that is. But, all right, cool, guys. Well, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.